Hey everyone. Welcome back to Marin English Lab. I want to ask you something, and I want you to be honest. Have you ever wanted something so much that the waiting felt like it might break you? Not a queue. Not a traffic jam. Something that really, truly mattered. Because this IELTS topic is not about waiting. It's about what waiting reveals about who you are. And that one shift is exactly what separates a Band 5 answer from a Band 7. Full model answer. Top vocabulary. Let's go. Here's what most people get completely wrong with this topic. They describe the situation, the hospital, the queue, the waiting room. And then they stop. But the examiner doesn't want to know what you waited for. They want to know what happened inside you while you waited. The doubt. The moment you almost gave up. The way you kept going anyway. That internal struggle is where Band 7 lives. Ready? Listen carefully.
The time I had to be most patient in my life was during the year I spent waiting to hear back about a scholarship application. Not days. Not weeks. Months. I had applied for a fully funded study abroad scholarship, the kind that could change everything about where your life goes next. The application itself took months. Essays, references, language tests, interviews. And then, after all of that, came the hardest part. The silence. 8 months of opening my email every single morning and every single night and finding nothing. Just an empty inbox that somehow felt louder than anything I had ever heard. What made it so difficult was that I had told almost no one I had applied. I was carrying this fragile, heavy thing completely alone, something I couldn't put down and couldn't talk about. And hoping felt dangerous. Because if I let myself hope, and it didn't come, I wasn't sure I would recover. So what I did was pour everything into the things I could control. I kept studying. I started running every morning, not because I loved it, but because I needed somewhere to put the anxiety that had nowhere else to go. I learned new skills. I read books I had been putting off for years. I filled the silence so it couldn't fill me. And then, on a Tuesday morning in February, the email arrived. One line. We are pleased to inform you that your application has been successful. I didn't shout. I didn't jump. I just sat very still for a very long time. That year taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. Patience isn't really about waiting. It's about learning to live fully in uncertainty and choosing to keep going anyway. And I think that might be one of the most important things a person can ever learn.
Did you notice what just happened? 4 things made that answer Band 7. First, an unexpected situation. A scholarship, not a queue. The examiner didn't see that coming. Second, internal conflict. Hoping felt dangerous. That's psychology, not just description. Third, concrete action. Running, studying, filling the silence. The examiner sees character, not just patience. And fourth, a closing idea that redefines the entire topic. Patience isn't about waiting, it's about living fully in uncertainty. That is what the examiner walks out of the room still thinking about. 3 phrases. Own them, and they will own your score. 1. Pour everything into things I could control. When everything feels uncertain, most people say, I tried to stay positive. That's Band 5. It tells the examiner nothing. But pouring everything into the things you could control, that's someone taking action in the face of helplessness. It shows strength, not just patience. Say it exactly like this. I poured all my energy into the things I could actually control. The examiner sees a resilient, self-aware person. That's Band 7. 2. I filled the silence so it couldn't fill me. This is a line the examiner will remember. 10 words that carry the weight of 8 months. It's not just vocabulary. It's a complete thought, expressed with precision and image. That's exactly what Band 7 looks like. Not longer answers. Sharper ones. Use it as a standalone sentence. I filled the silence so it couldn't fill me. Short. Vivid. Unforgettable. The examiner writes it down. 3. Living fully in uncertainty. Don't end your answer with a fact. End with an idea. Patience isn't about waiting. It's about learning to live fully in uncertainty. That sentence doesn't just describe the experience. It transcends it. Close your answer with, that experience taught me that patience isn't about waiting. It's about learning to live fully in uncertainty and choosing to keep going anyway. The examiner is still thinking about it when you leave the room. That is band 7. 5 minutes. And now you have a patience answer that no one else in that exam room is giving. Here's your challenge. Comment below. What's the most patient you have ever had to be? One sentence in English. I read every single comment, and I reply. Like this video if it changed how you think about IELTS. Subscribe for a new video every single week. See you in the next one. Good luck.